Hello, and welcome to another episode of Break the Cycle with me, your host, Joshua Smith. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. It's Thursday today. We made it. It's almost the weekend for you guys. I'm working 4 12s in a row, so fuck you guys for not working 4 12s in a row over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? You guys all right? You guys okay over there?
I got a 3-day weekend. I had the opposite.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow.
I had a regular ass weekend. But, I mean, I've told you guys about my day today. It's been traumatizing.
Yeah, you guys. We'll get into that a little bit. It's an interesting story that makes me want to hurt people. So that's always fun. Before we get too far into this, we do got a good show for you guys tonight. But let's check out some sponsors. Of course, we have TopLops.com, the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend and partner on Break the Cycle, where you can get this great bright purple Epstein didn't kill himself hoodie that you see me wearing tonight by using BTC at checkout for a 10% discount, or you can join the Patreon, subscribe star, or become a member of the YouTube channel under all of our videos by hitting the join link, where you can get into a private Discord server with awesome people that Ryan mostly runs. I do pop in from time to time. And you can get all of Top Lops' new gear up to 2 weeks before it goes to the general public at like a 30% discount. And yeah, Mr. AJ Fisher over there is also wearing Top Lops tonight. Let us alone with the Florida Gator on it. Can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. Great stuff, man. If you guys are doing $5 or $10 a month to the show, you're getting Top Lops' new gear. You're actually saving money and supporting us both. It's really a win-win for everybody. We appreciate you doing it. So go sign up today and help us out. And of course, the executive producers of the show, antiplanning.com, for all your emergency and crisis planning needs. Check them out today. See what they can do for your business, home, or personal life. They're doing a wonderful job that the government has historically sucked at much cheaper and much more efficiently. They help organizations solve unsolvable problems in the technology and HR arenas. Their team leads by example. Anthem consultants have led their own organizations through demanding periods of change. Now they help clients succeed in the face of technology and personnel challenges. Guys, let me know in the chat if you hear the music behind me, because we can't hear it. I don't know why the fuck it does that. Doesn't make any difference.
We could on Tuesday, but we couldn't hear the intro.
Yeah, but now we can't hear the music, but we could hear the intro and starting screen tonight, which is weird. Usually we can't. Sometimes we can't hear that. I don't know. It's really weird. Yeah, they're back together, Craig. They are back together over there. Yes, they are. Absolutely. Let's check in with my two wonderful co-hosts, AJ Fisher and Ryan Kurt. Sir, how are you guys doing tonight? In the mic.
Yeah, I am. I'm surviving right now.
He's had a crazy
hell of a day. But you know what would really help me chat? Some yep cocks in the chat. That would do wonders for me right now.
For this man. He just needs you to drop a couple of yep cocks. AJ, how are you doing?
Yes, doing fantastic. Got some bad news this morning. A family member passed away. So he was a ripe old age of 93, I believe.
Man,
so,
he really had a lot of life ahead of him, dude, for sure.
Yeah, he left quite the legacy, so he will be missed. He was a hell of a Hawkeye.
Hell of a Hawkeye.
Stu Hansen,
hell of a Hawkeye. Rest in peace to our good friend AJ.
Uncle Stu, dry sense of humor, great guy.
And
drank a lot of whiskey.
So much life ahead of him. It's really sad that he left so early. Somebody posted on it was like a friend of mine on Facebook that their aunt had passed away or something that was like 102 years old or something like that, and I so badly wanted to be like, man, and she had so much life behind her. I didn't say it, but you know, whatever. I don't know, guys. We got a great guest for you tonight. I'm very excited. Been a friend for a while. I'm a fan. He's stand-up comedian, host of show That's Based, Mr. Caleb Salvatore. How are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great. How about you? I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. I don't know why he's so quiet in my headphones. Is he quiet in your guys' headphones?
No,
good.
He's pretty normal volume.
It's just me.
No one has ever accused me of being quiet.
No,
before,
same with me. You and I have similar voices like that. We kind of just carry, man.
We have radio, dude. I bet we have radio voices. I bet I joined some website. I'm trying to sell my voice for like voice acting in commercials and like corporate videos and shit.
Yeah, dude. If you got it, fucking use it, man. Yeah, use it. I've been down here trying to record some clips too for voice acting auditions and shit like that. Yep. I'm like, I got the equipment. I might as well. You know? What I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's I've got like a huge setup, like a whole studio in my house, and I've got this gift from God, so like I might as well make some money off of it, right?
Might as well give it a go, dude. I can't do impersonations or anything like that. I just have I do have a unique voice though that I should be using for to grift.
Yeah,
to grift. The theme of the show recently has been grifting. In fact, our last show we didn't have a guest on, but we made it all about Kalina George, the Liberty thought that's been going back and forth with everybody on Twitter. And we did a live reaction to her video of hers that she put out talking shit about basically me and the Mises Caucus. And it's doubled the views that we had on the Moshere episode before that. I'm like, what do you guys want from me? Is this what you want? You guys want shows where I just talk shit?
Petty drama.
Yeah, they just want me to come on here and talk shit about some random thought.
See, I've never even heard of this girl until this shit started going on the other day. Is this like a Fed? Is this like a psyop or something?
That's what we tried to break down on the show.
Yep. You just encapsulated the entire 2-hour show.
I'm very skeptical whenever I see an attractive woman come out of nowhere talking about that kind of like it's got to be some kind of honeypot. You know what I mean?
And I think we got by the end of it, we came to two conclusions: either A, she's as dumb as rocks but self-important, or B, she is some kind of federal agent or she's compromised or something. But it's been really funny because ever since the episode, we've gotten several messages and comments from old family members of hers saying, wow, this is perfect. She's absolutely crazy. And thank you for doing this. And like people that don't watch the show, just random, like members of her ex's family or something like that.
It was her ex-brother-in-law. Was that on a public? Can you
share
that?
That was on the YouTube channel. Someone said that on a comment, but then apparently they messaged Ryan. They've messaged me.
I got a DM from someone else. And
so she's just a grifter then.
Yeah,
big time.
Leaving a wake. Yeah, she leaves everybody in her wake damaged, and now we're finding out about them.
Yeah, and now we're dealing with it. And so as somebody who's dealt with crazy women in this movement before, Caleb knows. Caleb's aware of my past crazy in this movement.
It's a former coworker of mine, so yeah, I get it.
You know,
albeit briefly, but yeah, regardless.
Yeah, I know that there are women who come into this movement to try and grift. Some of them try to become the queen of the movement. That's what they seem to want to be. I think that my past crazy had that same kind of I don't know, dysfunction, if you want to call it that. And I think that this woman has that same dysfunction because of the way she's so self-important and like really trying to push herself as like the authority on what the Mises Caucus should be saying and all this stuff. Yeah. She wants to be the queen of the movement out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
That's my thing is like, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Caleb. Go ahead.
So, see, my thing is like you're trying to post a video on arguing an ideal, and I didn't watch it. I didn't care enough to watch it, but you're trying to, from what I understand, she's trying to make a video about some type of ideological point. She's trying to argue that, right? And then you have your ass in yoga pants on the cover of it. Like that's like, come on, what's your real angle here?
I think she's doing the video tonight.
That was my point. My point was I have to admit, her raw weapons are formidable. Exactly. Like it worked. I'll admit, I simped for I was like, okay. And then the voice, when I heard the voice, I was like, oh man,
the voice was rough.
Like the points came off a little bit, and then
the context.
After the argument, I went, oh, there's no beef. There's no beef to the argument.
It's one hamster on a wheel spinning around in there, dude. That's it. That's all she's got going on. It was sad.
Yeah, that live stream she was doing, I think
that's tonight. It's supposed to be tonight. Yeah.
Well, is she doing that? Yeah.
No. Listen.
Is that going to be a separate thing?
It's a separate thing. So she posted tonight at, I think it's 8 Central tonight. I think like here in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No, so she's bringing Clint from Liberty Lockdown on the show, and Clint basically is like, I'm gonna go on and just fucking destroy her. Right.
Oh no.
Should we just pull it up and roast the shit?
We may be able to pull it up in a while. I don't know. I don't want to take all of Caleb's time. This is Caleb's show, but
no, this is your show.
No. This is your show, buddy.
We have a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Just roast the shit out of her.
I mean, we
Let's
could.
use his powers
That used
for
to be
good.
my thing. I used to be like, that was my thing, was like roast battles and stuff, because they would have them every now and then, and I would do it. And I've got some stories from roast battles. I've been there have been times where I've been like,
we'll see. It's still not on. We still got another 15 minutes till it even comes on, I think. I don't know. Look it up on your phone and see if you can find out what time she's doing it. It's on her Instagram too, and I don't know how I'd bring the Instagram up and Caleb. I guess I'd have to have two different. I don't know. Fucking, we could figure it out if we need to. But whatever. Before we do all that, we have some topics laid out tonight.
We do.
Yeah, we do. Why don't you talk about your little story that you got going on? So my man here runs a few different. I
have.
What are they? Discord servers.
Yeah, and they both have a couple thousand people in them, and I'm in charge of moderating.
Yeah.
And one of my moderators came to me today with a concerning message about another moderator. And so I spent my afternoon investigating that. And there's about a 99.9% chance that moderator that these messages were brought up to is very fond of children.
oh,
there it goes. Caleb's soaked. He's like, yes, let's talk about it.
Yes, so
I didn't wear my kill all pedophiles shirt today. Fuck.
So about 10 minutes before I drove over here, I received a message with screenshots from the person that spoke up with messages from a couple years ago sent to them while they were 14 that no 14-year-old should be receiving. Like, what are your fetishes? Is it okay if I send you porn? Things like that.
Oh.
So I have gone from, little red flag to all of the red flags, and I need to start building a case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been my...
If you guys have been watching the show for a while, you know that the intro to my show is literally a song called Wood Chipper Go Burr by my friends at Whiskey Grenade. And I don't take lightly to the pedophile type. I think that they should be put in general population very quickly. I'm one of those people. This man, yeah, Discord. Some Bubblegum Gun said Discord mods in a nutshell. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I was saying before the show, Discord mods would contest public school teachers for the density of pedophiles.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So Discord's like anonymous posting. I've never had one before. I don't know what it is.
You started off as video games, right?
Yeah, and then it's evolved into kind of its own social media.
Like that, right?
Yeah, so
okay.
So you can use it for voice chat, text chat.
Somebody said in this mod is also an elementary school teacher, allegedly. Is that the mod you're talking about?
No, the mod I'm talking about is a programmer.
Because that would make sense.
That's a different pedo mod.
I always think it's funny when people start bringing up the Catholic Church when you talk about pedophilia and shit like that. I'm like, oh yeah, well the Catholic. First of all, I'm not Catholic, so I understand that there's a problem in the Catholic Church with that. And here's the thing about the Catholic Church, right? Like when I lived in the Bay Area, well, I'm from California originally, right? I'm from San Francisco Bay Area, and like one of the biggest Catholic movements in the country is in San Francisco, right? Which is funny if you think about it.
Explain
the
the
gays
law.
must love that.
Yeah, and they actually have a victims fund in the county there. The church does for victims of pedophilia of the church. That's how common it is. That's how common it is in the church that they actually have to keep a victims fund. Now, the numbers of pedophiles and pedophilic incidences in the Catholic Church pales in comparison to public schooling. It's not even close.
Yeah, and the incidents per like capita,
right,
also pale in
comparison. It's not even close, dude. Like the amount of children that are harmed sexually in public education is tenfold.
Okay, so you're saying disproportionate. There's disproportionate number.
It's tenfold in public schools what it is
public schools versus
in the Catholic Church.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, because we have a segment on my show called Teacher of the Year where we'll take like news clippings of teachers getting arrested for doing wild shit.
Oh.
And we got to the point where I'm like, stop sending me the ones about them fucking students. That happened. There's like 6 of those a week. Like, I don't need to hear that. That's not extraordinary. It's not news at this point.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's like, I could say the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
so
so many
much.
arguments from leftists too. Like, oh, I bet you're going to say, if it's a boy, I bet you're going to say he's a lucky kid. No, motherfucker. That's still a child. You know what I mean?
Although
And I have an
I will
11-year-old son. If his teacher hit on him, I'd be down at the school with a flamethrower, dude. You know what I mean?
I will say it's weird though. Every time you see like a female high school teacher sleeping with her students, she's always hot. I'm like, you could go to the bar and fuck anybody. Why are you fucking a kid?
It doesn't make any sense. They're pedophiles. I mean, they are. And,
it is, yeah.
And the thing about it is we don't. When we talk about pedophiles, as soon as you bring up the term pedophile, everyone gets an image of something in their head right away. It's a kind of older dude, creepy, mustache like AJ's, like fuck. You know what I mean? Like
Basically just AJ.
Yeah, like this is what we see. This is what we
Do not get into my van.
Yeah, this is what it looks like.
I don't have any puppies in there.
There we go. Look,
Zero
everybody, look at
puppies.
him with his Carhartt
Do you
beanie.
see this guy?
This is
Don't get in the van.
this is what a pedophile. This is what everyone thinks when they hear the term pedophile. But the truth is that there's pedophiles that are good looking too. You know what I mean? Let's
What?
take it a step further. I mean, there was serial killers that were so charming they could pull a different girl every night, and they were serial killers. You know what I mean? It's there is no set look for these people, and I think that's, you know, there's this movement in America right now among leftists to push away from the term pedophile. It's offensive, and we need to start using minor attracted person. Now, I think anybody who says that is an idiot and deserves under the prison, in my opinion. But what we need to get away from is stereotyping pedophile. That's why everyone's always so shocked when you find out who the pedophile is, right? Because we all stereotype the term pedophile, and that's not how it works. There's people out there that look like normal everyday people that are pedophiles, and that's what we need to remember.
Well,
I don't know.
I think the key to remember is, I guess for everybody, but just parents in general, it's people that gain your trust. And so I had a personal experience. Nothing happened to me, okay, first of all, but I was at a camp where there was a pedophile. It just so happened it was the guy that ran the camp.
Oh yeah.
This was a known story in Iowa, Charles City, St. Charles, Iowa. There's that horse camp, and it was a known case, and he did it for years. Finally got caught, and the way he did it was he would get kind of a smaller group of boys in this bunk, figure out who they were, and then, oh, you got to go on a special like camp trip where you went in the woods on the horses, and like you're all intense. You got to sit around the campfire and tell stories, and it was a prize. It was like, oh, we picked you because you're responsible, and so you'd be this special group. Well, I got picked for that shit.
Oh,
so
geez.
I was in like the final 12.
Yeah.
And I did not get picked. So I'm still a little bitter about that. But he did this for years. It was horrible. And he finally got caught, went to prison. The system worked, right? It got him caught. But he was a guy that would gain your trust. And that's exactly, I trusted him. I did. I was like, this guy wouldn't hurt a fly. He's great, you know?
Unfortunately, every job that's going to be exposed to vulnerable people is going to attract bad people that want to take advantage of it.
100%.
Like that's like teachers, priests, camp counselors, coaches, whatever.
Police.
It's police. Yeah, it's going to attract people that want to game the system. And
Do you guys want to know something fucking crazy? And my mom will verify this. I'll have my mom verify this for anybody that wants to know. Do you guys remember the story of Phil Garrido and JC Dugard?
Yeah.
So JC Dugard was kidnapped in 1991 and held for
years.
Over a decade by this man Phil Garrido, and it was in his backyard. She was like kidnapped in South Lake Tahoe.
My wife read the book. I wish she was here. She
the
was
memoirs of a stolen life or whatever.
Yep.
And so JC Dugard was kidnapped by Phil Garrido, and they lived 4 houses away from us, 5 houses away from us. Phil Garrido.
Oh shit.
And she was in his backyard the whole time, like living in like
God.
a tent area that they had built in the backyard. 4 or 5 houses down the street from us. We lived in unincorporated territory. It was kind of like the country, and we didn't know that. But check that, we didn't even know that we had never even seen that guy when we lived there. But get this, in 1992 or 93, okay, I was like 10, maybe young. No, I don't even think I was 10. Maybe it was 1990. I was like 7. We were at a Pack and Save, which was like a little grocery store where I'm from when I grew up. And I had dropped my jacket somewhere. And I was like, Mom, I got to go find my jacket. And I went running to try and find my jacket. And I came around a corner. And there's a man there holding my jacket. Like, is this your jacket? Come here, come get your jacket, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And my mom came around the corner at the same time, and she swiped the jacket out of his hand because she said that he was like reaching for me to try and grab me.
Okay.
Jesus
At
Christ,
this Pack
man.
and Safe, right?
Your spidey senses.
Broad
She's just-
daylight too.
She just felt it. She
Yep.
was like, he's gonna take you. Like I could see it coming, right? Motherfucker,
Jesus.
go fast forward 15 years later or whatever. My mom's watching the news. She's like, that's the guy. That's the fucking guy that was gonna take you back and say, Phil Garrido. That's the guy.
Oh my God.
He was gonna
Holy
kidnap me, dude.
That gave me chills, man.
Yeah.
Holy
Holy
fuck.
shit.
Dude, and for like 2 years, we lived 5 houses down from him and didn't even know it. That she was in his backyard
Holy
and all that.
He
shit.
probably
shit.
grabbed your hood as you walked by, just peeled it off.
Well, no, I had like
your
set
head.
my jacket down on
Yeah.
on like one of the I don't know, like the shelf,
Okay.
like one of the shelves, and just accidentally left it there. And then I went back to go get it, and he was holding it at the end of a.
And he was like, "Oh, hey, come here."
Yeah, he's like, "Come here." My mom said he was reaching for me when she came around the corner because I was by myself,
Fuck, dude.
and she said when she came around the corner, he was reaching for me, and we never thought about it again, right? Until she saw the news and was like, "That's the fucking guy. That's the guy. That's the guy that was going to kidnap you."
Shit, man. That
And
gave me
and
chills.
he lived 5 houses down from us
Ugh.
for 2 years, and we didn't even know that she was in his backyard.
So did you? You didn't ever saw his house?
We never
You
saw
never
him,
saw
no.
like the okay.
No.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, dude.
Holy shit. I had a guy, I was probably like 18, 19 years old. I had a guy, my brother was like, there's a big age gap between me and my younger brother. And he told me that there was this guy messaging him on Instagram. And I Googled the guy's name, and he was a legitimate registered sex offender and trying to lure my 12-year-old brother off of Instagram. And like, I saw the messages and everything. And like, it was like fucking real deal. And I won't go into detail what I did live on the air because I don't know what the statute of limitations is, but he left him alone. And that's why I've got I fucking hate people like that, bro. Like, it's legit. Like, it's not just one of those hop on the bandwagon. Yeah, let's, we all hate child. Like, no, I fucking hate people like that. And I have a personal reason for it. It's fucking disgusting, the type of people that would do that.
Yeah, it's very predatory. That's what creeps me out. I'm a parent now, and like, it's totally different when you have kids. It
Oh, yeah.
is. It is.
Yeah.
Totally
Can't
different.
imagine.
And I'm not saying that people don't hate pedophiles, but I think after you're a parent, it's a special like hatred,
Bro, like
it's a very
just the
specific
thought of
hatred.
anybody hurting your child at all is fucking
just like the vulnerability of that, the fact that an adult would see that vulnerability and take advantage of it, for some kind of sick reason. It's just like, it's so impulsive.
Yep.
you know?
I agree. And speaking of somebody said the LGBT grooming is real in the comments. And Casey Anthony babysitting in the chat
Great name.
said he would have given you back. Yeah, he probably would have given me back, no doubt. I was a fucking annoying ass kid, dude. Like you guys don't even understand. Like, I'm an annoying adult, but I was like a really annoying kid. Like, spit when I talked, fat kid. You know what I mean? Like, I had a stutter and shit. Yeah, it was bad. I still have a stutter, by the way. I don't know if you guys ever pick up on the show, but I do. I still have a stutter.
Not at all.
Yeah, I still have a stutter. I use like other words instead of stuttering now. That's kind of how I like got over my stutter, is the ums and the uhs and the likes and all that stuff. Like, I started using that stuff to get over my stutter.
Yeah.
So you'll hear that a lot.
Okay.
And then I had to also learn to just kind of pause. So I do some pauses in between what I'm saying sometimes, and you see me on like the
Taking
hamster wheel spinning. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Yeah,
Yep.
it happens.
My problem's always been that my mouth moves faster than my brain. So like, I'll have a thought coming and I'll stop for a second, and then the good thought comes, but it just sounds goofy the way I said it.
Yes, that's why you're a stand-up comic, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
I can never run out of time to talk, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, by the way, that show is 8:30.
it's 8:30
the
Central.
The Kalina George Central Time. She says 8:30 on Liberty Pod with yeah.
Well, we could catch the first. I don't know. We could pop it on here and watch like the first. I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes of it. Yeah, and talk about it. But it would be funny. But talking about grooming. What was I gonna? I was gonna bring something up. Somebody said the LGBT grooming is real, and then I had some. Oh, my son. Did I tell you? I told you. Did I talk about this on the show? The teachers at his school were making them watch CNN every day. Did I tell you about this?
No way.
Yeah. So check this out. So our two that we adopted, like, we have to put them in public school. When we first got them, we put them in a community choice charter school, which was like, we had a lot of say in what they were doing and stuff like that there. It was really nice. It was still considered a public school, but because it was community choice, we had a lot of involvement in the school. It was a smaller school. It was nice. Well, when we moved over here, so that in that specific school district, elementary school is K through 5. And then there's a 6th grade through 8th grade and then 9th through 12th, right? Here in the new school district that we live in, it's K through 6th. So he graduated elementary school there, and we moved, and he had to go back to elementary school here for one year.
One more year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the new school is just a regular public school, which sucks.
Yeah, mine was 6th, 7th, and 8th for middle school.
Same.
Yeah.
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 So
Our
elementary goes
we
to
didn't have
6th?
middle school when I was a kid. We had elementary school, junior high school, which was 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then high school was 9th through 12th.
Okay.
Most of them are
Gotcha.
still 7th and 8th. That
Yeah.
was my fiance's was, yeah, but I was 6, 7, and 8.
They changed it.
Yeah.
They changed it after I went. They became middle school.
Yeah.
So my little sister was different. But anyway, so he comes home the other day. He's like, Dad, I was watching on CNN. And I was like, let me stop you right there, big dog. You know what I mean? Like, you were watching what on CNN? Where?
Yeah.
You know,
Brian Stelter?
Because he just got home from school, you know? And I'm like, oh, yeah, they have us watch CNN for 30 minutes at school every day. And I'm like,
Half an hour of it?
half hour, 30 minutes at school, CNN.
And
I'm like,
I don't think I've watched 30 minutes of CNN in my life.
Yeah. No shit, right? I told him, I said, is this required? He's like, yeah, they require it of us. 30 minutes a day at school. I said, that's not going to happen anymore. He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I said, you're not going to watch CNN at school anymore. You're going to tell your teachers that your dad said you're not allowed to watch CNN. And if they tell you that you have to watch CNN, then I want you to come home and tell me, and then I'm going to go down to your school and we're going to talk about it. But I want you to stand up for yourself, because he didn't want to watch it. Like, he's like, Dad, I can tell that it's biased and it's teaching me things that I don't really, like he knew, you know what I mean? And so I was like, well, you tell your teachers you're not allowed to watch it. Your dad said you're not allowed to watch it anymore. And so he's like, all right. And I said, and if you're feeling froggy, tell them that you want to watch Alex Jones for 30 minutes a day or something. You know what I mean? Let them know.
Andrew
Like,
Tate.
tell him. Yeah. And so he went back to school the next day and said, hey, my dad said I can't watch CNN. And the teacher's like, he said what? Yeah, my dad said I'm not allowed to watch CNN at school. He's like, well, that's weird. And he's like, well, my dad doesn't want me watching CNN. So what do you want me to do? He's like, oh, well, you can go sit in the hall. So they go put him in the hall every day for 30 minutes while the kids in his class watch CNN.
No, he needs a bullhorn. He needs to call his teacher a globalist. I'm not your slave.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's what I told him. I said, why to ask your teachers why you can't watch other news programs? Then?
Yeah.
Why is it always got to be CNN? What's the point
Well,
of that?
Here's a concept. How about the teacher teaches instead of making
What are they
them watch
watching
TV?
CNN for?
Bro, this is 2023,
catch up on
Caleb.
news.
Teachers don't teach anymore. You know what I
That's
mean?
true, yeah.
They're fucking. All they do is they hang up gay flags and Black Lives Matter flags around the room, and they facilitate kids into activism. That's what they do. That's
My 5-year-old came home and talked about Martin Luther King. They taught us about Martin Luther King. So 5 years old. Oh, really? What did they teach you? Like the black people need to go on the front of the bus. I'm like, and I'm like Joker out of the cop car. I'm like, here we go. And I'm like 5 years old, dude.
I told you about the time that my son came home and was like, "Hey, Dad, we're doing a report on the Civil War," and I was like, "Oh, son, come sit down for a minute. Let's have a conversation."
Okay, you were talking about how you can't do impressions earlier. I only have a couple of impressions I can do well, but Heath Ledger's Joker is one of them.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Let's hear it. Shut up, everyone. Shush.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Well, that was pretty good.
That's very good.
That was good.
That was very
I'm
good.
surprised.
We go.
That's pretty good.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised. Very quiet. Very quiet. You're gonna have to, if you want to be in movies, you're gonna have to project a lot more than
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've done it in front of people.
That was
so-
great.
I'm surprised. I thought it was gonna suck. I thought it was like we were in for a here goes another Ryan moment.
For it to suck a little.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be another
It was
Ryan
good.
moment.
It was good.
Caleb, you
I
got
used
any
to
good
be.
impressions, dude?
I used to be able to do a good Dale Gribble. I don't know if any more.
Nice.
Let me try it here. Let me get my voice ready. Nancy, what's John Redcorn doing here?
That was good, dude. That was really good. I like that a lot. I literally just can't do impersonate. I think it's because I'm tone deaf, like 100% tone deaf.
That's my only one. Yeah.
Hey,
Weren't you in a
accents?
band?
Yeah, dude. I screamed in bands, dude. Screamed. You don't have
Which
to,
is more of an art than you'd think, actually.
yeah, but you could be tone deaf and do that. I mean, look at Chino. Do you know why they named the Deftones the Deftones? Because Chino is tone deaf.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And if you listen to his songs, I mean, if you listen to him sing, it's very clear that he's tone deaf. Very clear. I'm a big Deftones fan though. I'm like obsessed with the Deftones though.
I tried to get into him. I never could.
Never heard a Def song.
Yeah, well, you also think that the best rapper is like fucking what's his name?
XXXTentacion.
Yeah,
that's my
gay.
favorite.
That's
rapper.
the gayest thing I've ever heard in my life, dude.
That's the one who's dead, right?
yeah, he's
Yes.
dead. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
thank God.
shot.
Thank God. That's
Passed away.
He's passed away. Yeah, he had so much life ahead of him too.
He actually did.
Yeah, he was young too. I think he was
He
only
was
like 20. Yeah, he was a baby.
There was a while they were dropping like flies, man. It was those young kids that they never had any money, and then they got a bunch of it, and then it was boom, dead. And it was just like it was him and Juice World and
there's more than that. Lil Peep,
Lil Peep. Yep.
Mac Miller.
Mac Miller.
Yeah.
A lot of 'em.
6ix9ine went to jail.
Takeover
He didn't die.
from the Migos died recently.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Mac Miller didn't. That will not sue. That was a drug overdose.
Drug
These
overdose.
are all drug overdoses. Every single person we're talking about, except for
No.
XXX
Okay.
Tentacion, who was shot.
Well, Nipsey Hussle got shot.
Yeah, Nipsey got shot.
Takeover
I thought the
got
guy
shot.
from Migos got shot over like a
Yeah.
dice game.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
dice game.
Oh.
Juice World wasn't a drug overdose.
Yes, it
it
was.
was.
They was
a
the drug.
heart attack from drug abuse.
No, he had a seizure from
Yeah.
drugs and
Well-
died on his plane, and they landed and he was dead.
Wasn't it something like the cops were waiting to arrest him for drug possession, so he
Yes.
just took it all, so
Yes.
they couldn't find anything?
Is that Juice World?
Yes.
Doesn't that sound like somebody else?
But now died suddenly is so normal that it's like we don't even know when it's happening to the rappers anymore.
Yeah.
We're like, it's not rappers anymore. It's athletes now. Yeah,
Not
Maybe,
sudden
maybe
anymore.
he had COVID at the time. He died with COVID.
he could have died with COVID.
Died with
Yeah.
COVID.
Like
Mac
George
Miller
Floyd?
was trying to get oxys, and his dealer gave him fentanyl.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
There's like a whole
That's
story
why he
behind that one
overdosed.
too. Yeah.
Did he give him fentanyl on purpose, or was it like he fucked
Yeah,
up?
because
Yeah, on purpose.
because there was a shortage of oxys, and so could get fentanyl that like looked like the oxys,
Ugh.
and it was essentially like quadruple the dose, and so
See, like, I don't get people that buy pills secondhand. You can pretty much go to any psychiatrist in the country and be like, "Hey, I'm depressed," and they go, "Here's drugs, have fun."
True.
So I don't like. There's no
painkillers.
risk of fentanyl.
Yeah, but they want to smoke fentanyl, and so when they actually want to smoke the pills,
Oh,
so you have to get them on the street because I think if you're prescribed, they only prescribed fentanyl medically. I think like
it's for cancer.
it's
yeah.
for severe pain
Yeah.
relief.
They
yeah.
used to give you
Yeah.
fentanyl for surgeries. That's what fentanyl. was
Yeah,
for.
well, that's
Well,
intravenous though. That's
yeah.
through your blood. It's through
and they
your IV.
could like totally control what they're giving.
Yeah,
you.
the reason they use fentanyl medically is because it works really fast, it's really strong, and then it goes away.
Yeah.
It
Doesn't have
ends
like
very very quickly.
Yeah, there's not
No
like a
side
big
effects.
come down
Yeah.
situation from it, and that's why
Yeah.
Narcan works so good with fentanyls because it's such a short lifespan that if you can keep the vital organs pumping for long enough, then you'll come out of the fentanyl. Basically, that's why Narcan works so good for fentanyl. But it is a
Never done
shitty,
fentanyl.
scary drug that you kind of got to wonder like, why did they create that? You know what I mean?
Well, I understand the medical purpose for it, but the big concern is the car fentanyl coming over from China. That's even stronger, man.
Yeah.
the
Like
the
that?
reason they created it was so the oxy crisis, like oxys were being overprescribed, and so there was a huge black market for it, and a bunch of people were addicted, and they clamped down on that. Suddenly there was a shortage, and they needed something to fill it, and fentanyl was something that could be produced by the black market and sold in place of oxys.
Listen, I've never really talked about this on the show, but I am a recovered opiate addict. I was big time. yeah, and long. I mean, I got over a decade now, so it's not like not fresh or anything.
Was it oxys?
Oh, lots of them, yeah, yeah, and I'm so glad because back then, dude, when we were doing that shit, there was no fentanyl.
Yeah.
It was not something that you had to worry about at all. Now it's like fuck. Every time you do an opiate, you're taking a risk, dude.
Yeah, it's a different game. Like, doing comedy and traveling, you get offered it anymore, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't know. It's just like that's my thing. It's like because I lean more toward the conservative side, but I'm still pro like legalization of drugs, and people on the right are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, think about it. Like when you go to get a shot of a glass of Jack on the Rocks, at the bar, you know exactly what you're getting. Like there's no suspicion that, hey, maybe this is like moonshine that's going to make me go blind. Now, when you go to the Coke dealer, you have no idea what you're getting. If you could just go to they're going to do it anyway. If
I
you
got a buddy who snorted an entire line of deodorant stick on accident once.
Drywall.
It happens, dude. Yeah, dude. He was like fiending out in his car really bad. And he used to like go and search on his car floor and he'd find, rocks and shit to break up and snort.
Hunter Biden stuff.
And he grabbed one. It was a big one. He's like, oh shit, I just found like fucking half a gram. And he chopped it up and snorted it. He's like, oh shit, that's deodorant. I was like, dude, you're going to fucking die, bro. You just dried out your whole brain. Could you imagine like what it would do in your fucking sinuses, dude? Like, cause it stops you from secreting, right? So like going into your sinuses would just stop all of your mucus secretion in your sinuses. It would just be like horrible.
I feel like the odor too, the fragrance would be in your nose forever.
And that would burn so bad. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
I had cut with like baby formula.
No,
laxative.
No, they cut it with baby. They cut it with baby laxatives.
Baby laxative. Yeah,
baby laxatives. Or vitamin B12 is another big one that they cut it with.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty gnarly.
It'll burn your nose.
Yeah. Guys, so let's talk about a little bit about what's going on with Project Veritas right now. We have to navigate this situation very calmly on YouTube. So we'll be talking about the V product and the P what is it?
The P company.
The P company. There's the P company and the V product. So you guys know what that means. I'm sure you do. If not, well, you'll survive. So Project Veritas doing what they do. They like to honeypot people into giving all kinds of information up. Now, a big executive from the P company was now caught on. Before, when they did the P company, they would get these like low-level scientists. Everybody would be like, oh, fucking no one cares. That's some low-level scientist. No one gives a shit. Now, this time, they have one of the big execs on camera saying that we know this came from a lab in the W country in China. We know that. We also are currently trying to mutate it so that we can continue to sell the V product.
Yeah, the report, I haven't watched the entire video. Well, I don't know if they released the video quite yet. I'm looking at some tweets, and the one from 6 hours ago is about, number one, we need to talk about the censorship. If you Google searched the P company and then Project Veritas after that, Google would come back with no results, and it would say, it looks like the results below are changing quickly. If this topic is new, it can sometimes take this reliable sources to publish information, blah, blah.
Well, Google's part of the fucking cathedral.
Yeah,
we know that.
It was instantly zapped.
Reliable sources are what's been approved by the regime. So
Right. Yeah, it's got to be reliable. Snopes. If
Only
Snopes put it out.
CNN.
Yeah, or CNN. Yeah, CNN could put it out if they want. So
MSNBC.
This is like really damning stuff, dude. This isn't just like I know that the left cognitive dissonance will not allow them to believe it, no matter what happens. I've come to the point where I don't even want to explain shit to the left anymore. They're so fucking stupid, and the wool is over their eyes so heavy that they have to go by whatever their leaders tell them. And I'm not a follow the leader kind of guy. You guys know that. But it's just so fucking crazy to me that they have this executive literally saying, yes, we know that this thing was made in a lab. No, we don't care. Yes, we're going to continue to mutate it with the V product so that we can sell more V product. Like that's what they have them saying. That's fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy to think about. And they're shielded from any kind of litigation whatsoever, right? That was part of the EUA, right? The emergency EAU or whatever, emergency authorization.
When I heard that, that was the nail in the coffin for me, by the way, when they said that you would not have any recourse for litigation if you opted to take the V product and then had a problem later. You would not be able to sue. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what?
They want what, like 80 years before they have to disclose?
It was 76 years.
Yeah, it was a lifetime. And I'm like,
testing.
That's interesting.
Everyone that took it's already dead by the time it comes out. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh God. See, that's my thing is like I've gotten really fucked up by the flu, right? So I used to get the flu shot, but now I'm like low-key paranoid. If I go get the flu shot, they're gonna fucking jack me up with that shit instead. You know what I mean?
They're gonna give you all the V products at once. Well, that's what they did. People, a lot of people don't know this. So the polio vaccine, people stopped getting it. Like people were just like, I don't fucking need that, right? And diphtheria, people stopped getting that too. Like they were like, we don't need that shit, right? But something that anybody that's a man that works knows at some point you got to go get a tetanus shot, right?
Yep.
Right. And we get tetanus shots. I cut myself on rusty blades at work all the time. Fuck, shit happens, right? Now, I don't know. My fiance is adamant that the tetanus shot is not needed as well. She's adamant about it. I've gotten them on my whole life, so it doesn't matter to me, right?
Yeah.
But
unless you get rust in your blood.
Do you know what they did, right? They fucking mixed it all together now. So every time you get a tetanus shot, it's a Tdap. Tetanus, diphtheria, and polio. It's literally all three of them in one. So when people stopped getting those, they were like, oh, fuck it, we'll just put them all together in one, and because people have to get the tetanus shot. So they're forcing you to get a tetanus shot. Every time you get one, you get another diphtheria and polio shot. That's fucking crazy. As an adult,
that's true.
As an adult, polio means absolutely fucking nothing to us.
Right.
Zero. Like if we got polio, it wouldn't do anything to us.
I mean, polio did do one good thing, which was take out FDR. So, like, what are you gonna do?
Yes, sir. Yes. This is why Caleb's here. He's fun. He's fucking hilarious, dude. You need to let him talk more. You guys need to shut up.
The man who has spoken nonstop for 7 minutes.
What are you talking about? This is my show. This is what I do. I always do this shit. I fucking can't stop talking.
It's not just your show.
It's my show. It's called
It's primarily.
It's called Break the Cycle with Joshua Smith.
I'm witnessing some infighting. This is like watching my parents fight.
And Ryan.
I put you on there out of the kindness of my heart, Ryan.
I know. Thank you.
We gotta get AJ on there too.
Kind.
We gotta get AJ on there at some point. Caleb, tell us about your show, man. How's it going? What's it about?
So I got a show. It's called That's Based. It's on outlawstreamers.com. That is the network that I am signed to. They've got they distribute it to Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, all that. The full shows cannot be posted to YouTube. The network has been banned, so we are navigating that. Fortunately, I don't have to make any of those business decisions. But no, we try to do a serious. So we have it segmented. We have different, it's like the lead topic, whatever the main thing is going on that week. Sometimes I get it a week late because of when we pre-tape it, and then we'll do other trending topics, and we try to take on serious issues and kind of make light of them, but sometimes it does get a little too serious. But it's called that again. That's Based on Outlaw Streamers. You can check us on Rumble. The company that I'm signed to was it's founded by Chris Baker. If you're from the Omaha area, you know who he is.
He was Baker, yeah.
He was the radio host that got canceled for some tweets, but he is the owner. It's funny. I grew up listening to him, and I remember I told my mom when I was like 15, I was like, I think I kind of want to be like a radio host like that Chris Baker guy. And she told me, oh, you can do so much better than that. And then I kind of left it, and now I work for him. So things have come full circle. But no, it's super cool, man. We're growing every month. We get more viewers and more listeners. So yeah, check us out, man. It's an awesome show. We have guests on sometimes. We try to do like a different perspective than just your typical, political newsy type podcast. So
you have a pretty funny TikTok too, which is funny to me because before you got a TikTok, all you did was talk shit about people with TikTok.
All I did, yep. I caved, man. I caved. It's so I didn't I would post stuff on TikTok every now and then one time I posted just this dumb video about, it was like a Thanksgiving shopping video. And it was a hacky joke. I'm like, I'm not going to tell this on stage. Let me throw it away on here. And it was essentially that, she's my fiance now, but my girlfriend at the time sent me to go get all this stuff for creamed corn. And I was struggling because she's the one that buys that shit, right? I was struggling to find it. So I made a TikTok about how, all the stuff at the store is in the wrong place. And then at the end, I say I had to go all the way to the Jewish market to get kosher salt and just stupid shit like that. And it got hundreds of thousands of views. And I eventually wound up on that side of TikTok, the woke side. And I got brigaded by all these women accusing me of something called weaponized incompetence.
Oh, yes. Yes.
What?
I've heard of this term very well.
Let me tell you.
Hear this.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Incompetence is one of those words that if you're going to accuse someone else of it, you better fucking spell it right. You know what? Like, that's just one of my pet peeves. But no, so weaponized incompetence is basically like where men will intentionally screw up basic, like household chores, like dishes, grocery shopping, cleaning, cooking, stuff like that. So their wives just throw their arms up in the air and do it for them. So they, first off, both genders do that. That's not exclusive
100%.
to men.
Yeah.
You want to talk about car problems or mowing the lawn, killing, don't even get me started. Okay. That's the gender roles. It's cool. Okay. But so I got just brigaded. They were tagging that Drew Afuelo chick that looks like Macho Man Randy Savage on fucking estrogen. And I mean, they were like, it was absurd. And I was clapping back at some of them. They were saying weaponized incompetence isn't cute. And I would go back and be like, well, yeah, neither are you. That's why you're going to die alone. And, I wound up getting my TikTok suspended for a couple days. But that's how I really came into TikTok was that. I'm like, oh, I can fuck with people on here. This is great.
That's how I feel about Twitter, too. I stayed off Twitter for a long time, dude. I didn't start my Twitter till 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Twitter had been around for a long time before that.
Yeah.
And I just had refused to get a Twitter. I was like, fuck this. They keep you in, because, I came from MySpace, dog. Okay, where we could write like 8-paragraph fucking posts, right? And it would be like the song lyrics to your favorite emo song, and you're talking about a girl that you're in love with, and everyone knows who you're talking about, but you're not saying her name, and fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it was a fun party, dude. MySpace was a fun party. I was playing music. I was touring around, playing fucking shows, and I had MySpace, dude. That was what it was all about.
Were you friends with Tom?
Everyone was friends with Tom, buddy.
Oh,
MySpace was the shit, man. It peaked at MySpace.
Oh, MySpace was the best, dude. Okay, and then MySpace went under.
Yeah.
I got a Facebook finally, and I was on Facebook for a long time. And there was a long time on Facebook where I could just say whatever the fuck I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one cared. Like, we used to talk all kinds of shit on Facebook, dude. And
better Facebook.
And I'll tell you, when I got banned from Facebook a couple years ago now, it's been 2 years ago now. I'm back on, of course, but I mostly do family stuff on Facebook now. But when I got banned from Facebook, I don't even remember what I said.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even bad, but I had was at my max limit on friends. I was on like 5,000 friends. I had a page that had several thousand followers. Like, I was doing good shit. I had a couple of groups that I ran that had thousands of people in them. And then it was just like I was gone. And I had to calm down compared to what I was 8 years prior when I had started my shit. And I was like, bro, there was times on Facebook where I was talking about conspiracy theories, dude. Like during the Newtown shooting, the Las Vegas. I mean, even as far as like the Las Vegas shooting, even I was like still able to talk about that stuff on Facebook. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom, no more.
Oh,
You
yeah.
still don't have a motive for that.
Oh, yeah. My fiance, it's funny because we were in high school when the Newtown shooting happened, and she bought into the video that it was staged, so I still give her shit about that to this day. She doesn't believe it now. I want to clarify her. I'm going to get yelled at from the other room, but yeah, she was big on the it never happened train. Apparently, that's what
Sorry,
she
I'm
told
trying to
me.
get these guys to hit the shutter button over here. They're both over there looking at their phone and shit.
No, you're good. No,
For some
guess...
reason that the Sony A6100 like times out. It doesn't time out. It overheats or something and then like freezes, and we just have to like restart it. I don't
My
know.
Canon did that. It would like shutter every 30 minutes when I would record the show, and then I had to go change some settings.
What kind of Canon do you use?
EOS 80D.
Oh yeah, the 80D does that shit. You got to get yourself an M50, man.
I actually found it. I changed a setting on it, and it's fine now. It doesn't do it anymore.
My M50, bro, like I could. You guys have seen it. We'll come down to do the show, and that camera stayed on the entire fucking time we weren't doing the show, and came back and just started it right up, and it never times out. It never freezes. It never fucking nothing, dude. That camera is a beast.
Canon's it's not the camera, it's the EOS utility that fucks with me the most. It's so unreliable.
Yeah,
Like,
the app sucks, but I've learned that when you turn your camera on, like the screen pops up for your camera, and if you hit quit on that, then your app works fine forever.
Okay.
Right. Until you turn your shit off and back on again.
Okay.
But the camera itself, dude, like that M50 is an absolute boss. I've been doing the show for going on 3rd year now. And I have never had one issue with that fucking camera, dude. No.
How much do those run for?
You can get them used on eBay for like $550.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, and then I got a 22 millimeter pancake lens on it too, which is really nice. It's got a 1.8 f stop, so you can get that depth of field and a wide back shot and all that stuff. But it's a nice camera, dude, for what it is. I'd like to have more than one, but that's the other thing. When I got the Sony, it was because I found out that when you use the Canon app, you can only use one fucking camera on the app.
That's but so I have like, I'm not using my Canon right now. This is just like a cheaper video camera that I doubles as a webcam. The cool thing about OBS is you can run as many cameras that you have ports for. Like, that's the cool thing I found out. So like, I will have other people in studio when we do the show, and my fiance runs the board, so she'll actually act as basically a switcher.
See, we need that.
Different people. Yeah,
maybe we can get one of the kids to start doing that.
She's great at it, man. I gave her sound effects and everything to fuck with me. So like, I had one of my videos got brigaded by people that were mad at me, and it was like infighting and stuff going after me. And I was like, I dared to criticize Kevin McCarthy, and she hits me with the Greta Thunberg. How dare you? It was great.
I have sound effects and shit loaded up into this too, but unfortunately, the problem with those sound effects is when we have a guest on, they can't hear the sound effects.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Sucks. But everybody else can. And for a long time, I had my buddy TJ. When I was originally doing the show and trolling some people with the show, I had him scream Fuentes, and I had that loaded up on here. And so anytime someone would bring up like Archie or any of the Fakertarians, I'd hit that thing on there. It was so fucking funny, dude.
Did you see?
I think I'm
got
banned from that
back
group.
On Twitter.
Nick Fuentes is back on Twitter.
Yeah, and then he got banned like
immediately.
2 days later.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already gone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I screenshot. He was in a Twitter space, and I was screen recording it.
He's gone. He was gone within 24 hours.
Oh, that's good. I'll share that. I'll put that. I'll tweet it and tag you in it. It's a clip of him talking about censorship and how he's been censored off the internet. That's good.
Where did Kanye go, dude?
He's still alive.
Kanye's hiding.
He got
out.
married.
They're trying to serve him.
He got married?
He got married. Yeah, he got
What?
married to like a model. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I had no
Kanye
idea.
got married.
I thought he was hiding out because they were trying to serve him.
He's getting some pussy, dude. That's what's going on right now.
I figured he was just an impressive episode after that massive manic one.
That wasn't manic.
That Alex Jones thing was the funniest fucking interview I've ever seen.
100% the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like Alex Jones's agent went, "Hey, we need you to like play the rational guy, so we're gonna get you Kanye on the show."
We're gonna have Kanye and Nick Fuentes on your show at the same time, dude. You're gonna look like the most rational dude in the room. Congratulations.
It's like when a football team beats up on like South Dakota State before a big game. It's something like that. It's like they got to go out there and pad their stats a little bit.
Trey Lance came from South Dakota State, man.
North Dakota State.
Oh, was it North Dakota State?
Oh yeah, North Dakota State is like.
It's the same.
I mean,
I think it's the same place.
Football team.
I'm here in Nebraska, baby. We're waiting on Matt Rule. Who's going to bring us back to the promised land. So.
Oh yeah. You guys, you're
this.
Nebraska Cornhuskers for sure. Even though we have more corn than you guys, but no big deal.
Doesn't matter.
It's always makes me laugh because like I've lived in Nebraska, right? Like I lived in West Millard in Omaha. Briefly.
Oh really?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah. When I first, like the day I turned 18. This is a fucked up story. Do you guys want to hear this story?
I went to high school out there.
No, this is a fucked up story, dude.
This is in Nebraska.
This is actually a really fucked up but also funny story and a good life lesson for any young men that might listen to this show. So back in my day, my good day, you couldn't send pictures on the internet. Do you remember that? When we had instant messenger and you couldn't send pictures and
you just send a picture.
Yeah, so when I was 17, I was sitting in my best friend's house playing Crack every day. We called it EverCrack. It's EverQuest. We would spend the whole summer playing this game, and we'd instant message. And there used to be chat rooms. Do you remember chat rooms?
Mm-hmm.
So you would meet people in chat rooms, and you'd go ASL, age, sex, location, all that shit, right? And I met this girl.
I was on AOL.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
There was that. There was like chat roulette.
AOL, instant messenger, AIM, right? And so so I met this girl in a chat room, and we would talk and talk and talk and talk while I was playing Evercrack. I'd be messaging her on the computer, and her name was Michelle, and she lived in Nebraska, and we fell in love on the internet, dude. And she sent me pictures in snail mail, like literally letters with like perfume on them and shit. And I think she was a bit older than me. I was 17. She was probably quite a
This
bit.
is like a 10-year window. You realize this?
Quite a bit older.
There's a
than me.
10-year window where it was analog everything,
Right.
but just the internet.
Yeah.
So you just had this one little.
It was very brief, dude.
Yep.
And so the day I turned 18, I bought a bus ticket. And I'm like, I'm moving to fucking Nebraska
Oh my God.
to be with this woman that I'm in love with.
Oh God.
I'm not kidding you. This really happened, dude. And so I hopped on a fucking Greyhound bus with like 2 suitcases and a backpack, and I'm moving my ass to fucking Nebraska. I'd never lived anywhere else but California.
Holy shit.
Okay. I got there in like, I don't know, probably February, maybe January or February. It was fucking cold. No, it was March. It was March because it was right after I turned 18. I
Okay,
turned
so it's
18 months.
Kind of warm.
No, it was still cold.
No, it was still
for
warm.
for California boy,
Nebraska?
dude.
Yeah, Nebraska.
In Nebraska, no. It's
Cold.
in Nebraska. It can be 90 or 10 below zero in March.
Yeah,
Like it's
it was
just
cold.
like Iowa.
I
Yeah.
remember there were still little snow packs on some of the like islands and the parking lots and shit because I like am not a fan of snow. I don't know if you guys know this.
We've gathered.
Yeah, you've gathered. And so I hopped on a bus and I moved out to Nebraska. And I got there and she looked nothing like her pictures that she had sent me. They were old.
You were the original
Shit.
catfish
Yeah.
victim.
They were
oh
old
my God.
They were old pictures from like when she was in high school, and she was not in high school anymore. She was definitely much older.
Yeah, Caleb, this is patient 0.
Dude, just wait. It gets worse. This story actually gets worse, if you can believe this.
He hit it anyway.
No. Shh. My fiance is in the chat right now. Everyone shut up.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And so I got there and I was all, holy shit, what am I going to do? Because I don't have a return bus ticket. So I was at her house for like 2 days and I met her friend, Chris, a guy. And I was at his house and I'm like, dude, I got to leave this. I don't know what to do. I moved out here. He's like, well, move in with us. He lived in the basement. He had 2 other roommates that lived upstairs, right? And I was all, cool, man. It was like a party house, you know. I'm 7. I just turned 18. I got a job at fucking Sizzler. Okay,
Which is now closed.
in West
I
Millard,
loved that
like by the
place.
mall.
I loved that. Yes,
Yeah.
I used to eat there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And so I got a job at Sizzler. I'm a server at Sizzler making $2.10 an hour plus tips. It's nothing, right? And so I find out that this dude is gay and has these other 2 dudes living with him that they're all sleeping together. They're cooking meth in the basement. Legitimately cooking meth in the basement. Legitimately cooking meth in the basement. Okay. And
It's shake and bake, and I helped.
and so it gets even worse. So they had this big fucking party over at the house, right? And there's like all these people partying and shit. And they're feeding me fucking Southern Comfort. And I'm fucking wasted. And I'm like, I gotta take a fucking bath or something, dude. So I like go in the bathroom, lock myself in the bathroom. I'm puking Southern Comfort. It's terrible. I'm a young
Don't
kid.
take your clothes off.
I'm 18, right?
Southern Comfort was my first like intentional experience with alcohol at 14.
I don't know what it
God.
is about Nebraska, but the people in Nebraska loved to drink Southern Comfort, dude.
They do.
It was a big thing there. And we used to go to a fucking bar called Guitars and Cadillacs.
Hmm.
And they had
There was one in Des Moines.
they had
There
an
was one in Des Moines.
all ages corral in there, and like you had to stay in the corral. You couldn't go out like to the bars and stuff, but
Yeah.
you could go into the building,
Okay,
all
okay.
ages.
Juice bar. All ages.
No, they
juice
had
bar.
a full bar and everything,
Oh.
and country dancing and all
Okay.
this shit. But you had to stay in the corral if you were under 21 or whatever. Anyways,
Yeah. There
so
used
they had
to
this
be a
big
dance
party,
club like that here.
and someone kept pounding on the door, let us in, and I was fucking wasted. And finally I opened the door, and just like, I don't know if something snapped in me, but someone was calling me names through the door and shit. So I opened the door and fucking like football tackled the first person on the other side of the door, right? And it was this girl.
The catfish?
No, different girl.
Oh.
No, never go.
Like some girl from the party. And it wasn't like I didn't hurt her or anything, you know what I mean? But I just was like drunk, and like the whole party jumped me, dude. Immediately. Like kicking me in the head and shit. It was bad, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
And so I'm like, I finally make it to my bedroom and I like call my mom, like, Mom, send me a bus ticket. I gotta come home right now. And 2 days later, I was on a bus back to California. That was my 45 days in Nebraska. That's my first story of trying to move out of the house. It was fucking brutal. I have a bad taste in my mouth about Nebraska. Very bad. I had not returned to Nebraska once until the Omaha Roads to Freedom Convention. That was the first time I went back to that state.
Oh yeah, I think that's where we met. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Which sounds traumatic.
Dude, it was crazy. And get this. I found out some years ago that guy Chris is in prison right now for fucking child molesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
It sounded like groomer behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're feeding you alcohol.
You look up the case. You probably look up the case. Chris something. I can't remember his fucking last name. Chris something in West Millard. Child
Chris
molesting.
child molester. Just Google it. See what comes
I'm sure you'd find it. But yeah, dude, fucked up story. I could not live in Nebraska again because of that.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
For a long time, I had like this really bad taste in my mouth about.
Do you know
Nebraska.
where at in West Millard?
No, dude, it was a long time ago.
Okay, I was gonna say because I just moved out of Millard. Like I actually technically don't live in Omaha anymore. We moved out of city limits, but
well, I'm gonna be 40 next month.
Okay, so it was a while ago.
This was 22 years ago. Yeah, it was a fucking long time ago.
Yeah.
So that whole situation was just absolutely insane, and it's a good life lesson for any young men that are listening right now. Do not uproot your life and leave for a woman that you have never seen in person.
Yeah, back in the day, you didn't find out it was a catfish until you showed up in Nebraska.
You had to get on a bus and go.
We do have good catfish in here. That's.
I went 1,400 miles.
Damn.
To find out that I was getting catfished.
Anymore, they can catfish you with pictures of themselves if they're good enough with camera angles. You know what I mean? Like if there's girls that like they can get good camera angles of just their face and the shoulders up, and they look very attractive, and you see them in person and they're like 400 pounds, and it's like the catfish, they will always adapt with the market.
Somebody just told me that the Yoga Pants Fed is live. Do we want to try to find that? Is that something?
I'm all for it. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, it's 8:30.
Because I think that you can do screen sharing.
If you can voodoo that shit on the screen.
Hold on. I think that you could screen.
Hell yeah.
Find it.
Oh, I get Kalina is tweeting 9 hours ago about the meme she was in.
You know, all that stuff. We're just gonna chit chat, so hopefully he'll be on here. Okay, is it Galomb? I know I talk to you all the time. Love your content, workout, and overall perspective. Thank you. Oh, you guys, everybody that asked workout questions today, I'm really sorry, but I did not get.
What's her name on Twitter? I want to look this. I want to look her up.
Yeah.
Liberty Chick.
So it's or you can search for. Is that what it is? Her at.
THT.
Yeah, THT Liberty Chick, no spaces. Tango Hotel Tango.
I just
Liberty Chick.
it won't let me play the live.
Helena George MPAS.
That's it. Yeah,
she
she's
said
a
she was
fitness snob or whatever. So there's a code.
It won't
for
let
her.
me. It'll let me play the live.
I'm sad
but
that
it
it'd
won't
be
let me
like
pause the live.
Josh Smith and
Oh, she's talking about you.
Smith on the other side.
Just let it roll. Let it roll.
No, because they can't. No, because Caleb can't.
Oh, okay. She just mentioned your name.
Yeah, she
so.
just. Well, it's because I couldn't get it to pause. And so I just wrote a comment that said fart noises and then took off.
Well, well, there's gonna be another live reaction.
I'm sure she saw the comment that said fart noises, and then I just took off.
Okay, just throwing this out there. So Project Veritas is talking about the P Company, on a Twitter space right now. It's been going for 37 minutes.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. That could be wild. Twitter Spaces Part 2. So I will retweet right now. But
yeah, so there's a couple good things going on right now.
A couple hot things.
I think we could pull this up. I think we could. Let me see.
This girl's only been on here for 8 months.
Yeah,
She came out
We were
of
talking about that
nowhere.
in the
we
show.
covered that in the show.
Yeah.
I have been on Twitter for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
And she has as many tweets as I do. And I am terminally online.
That's a grifter. Like, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's someone that they see an opportunity to make a little bit of money or get a little bit of notoriety for themselves.
We can critique it while it's playing, but
Yeah. We can just talk over her.
That's what I'm good at, is talking over women. So perfect. That'll work for me.
That's what we're all good at here.
One of my many skills.
Yeah, my wife wants to murder me for that, Caleb. How do I stop?
How
do you stop talking? You don't.
She's a slow talker. She talks.
How long
We
have you
thought
been
about
a
it. She's a slow talker.
Well,
40
see, that's
years.
and this is kind of what
40
pissed me
years,
off about
like,
the Thanksgiving thing
registered?
that
I
I
don't
got
think
brigaded
so.
on
No,
too about
I mean-
being abusive.
I've been I'm
Oh,
a
you're
second
good.
gen libertarian, so
Oh.
I've been a libertarian for over 20 years.
Okay, nice.
Oh, Clint's talking now.
Yeah, so I've been a libertarian.
Caleb
for
has
2
a cool
years.
skill like that,
like
and
a
all
lot
I
of
have
people,
is
you
this
know,
Joker
they alter, like,
impression.
But I wasn't
Talking
just,
over
like,
women? Oh,
oh,
yeah,
I'm a
it's
libertarian.
okay. Are you
I'm a
married?
libertarian.
I
I'm
am.
gonna change my registration or whatever. I literally did get involved. Like I
can't
have
see
been
anything,
involved with
no.
the party. I helped you. I don't know what I have, like a sparkle.
Now I
going
hear.
on.
Yeah, okay.
I helped to like organize my like.
She's got like that Southern Belle accent. Oh, now it's gone.
Running parish.
So frustrated for like over
Like in a
a
church
year
parish?
because I'm like,
No, that's what
okay,
they call
good. First
counties.
of all, you know how
Okay,
it is. The
okay.
messaging.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Also,
that. Okay,
you
cool.
go to meetings, people are just arguing with each other. I mean, maybe your meetings aren't like that, but people are just arguing with each other. You hop online, everyone's just fighting each other. And I'm like, the whole time, like, we're missing our moment, right? So for
Yeah.
me, the biggest
Can
thing
you
was health freedom.
you can
I'm
see
like,
that
we
though,
need
right?
health freedom.
Yeah, I
we
can
need
see
to
it.
protect the children. We need to get on this. So
Quiet.
I
I don't
started
know
this
what's-
platform. I started just connecting with other health freedom moms and everything.
Yeah, I can hear
But
it fine.
the attitude, and I'm not saying the local people that I know in the Libertarian Party,
Very
but
grating.
the attitude when you're online of libertarians towards me, like it's never been different than it is now. Okay, I started poking the bear a little bit, of course, but the attitude has always been the same.
The
There's
attitudes
not before,
toward-
always look,
Of
you know,
libertarians
you don't look
towards
like a
me
libertarian, you look
online
like a
has
fed,
never
so-
been
and
different
my
than it is
frustration
now.
is like,
I wonder
I
what the
grow this
common denominator
platform,
there
you know,
is.
to 20,000 people. I'm not saying that's huge, but I start to see other people with even bigger platforms in the health freedom community say, like, I think I'm a libertarian. Well, I'm like, no one's welcoming them. If I try to, like, connect with these people and bring them over, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to say they're fed, tell them they have OnlyFans, call them, like, a grifter for wearing spandex. And I'm like, all that's happening here is, like, we are not growing the party because of the culture of the party.
Yes,
Now,
we call you a grifter because you're
granted,
wearing
When I
spandex.
started getting
That's
frustrated about
that's
this and
why
trying to
we're
talk to
calling you
people
a
about it on
grifter.
I
Twitter,
cannot
I
wait for the
tagged
video where
LP
she's
National.
complaining
When
about
you try
men
to
creeping
tag,
on
like,
her at the gym,
Libertarian
like that
Party,
one
it's
girl
just
was.
the LNC, you know.
I saw it.
And Mises Caucus
feral.
tagged them because I thought that would bring a lot of
He was looking at her, waiting for
I
her
didn't
to,
think
you
that
know,
any
he's like, "Get the
specific
fuck off my
person
Quit
would
squat
hogging
take
the
that
rack."
personally
Yeah.
as like, I'm saying you're not doing
I
your job well.
almost
But that's
died.
exactly what happened. And then, you know, people started getting their feelings.
She said he
I
was
started
going
kind
to
of
jail
going
for
back,
creeping on an
and that's kind of
underage
where it got
21-year-old.
Are you
Okay.
burying her?
I think that you've approached the Mises Caucus in particular in a
Only
Hold on.
somewhat entitled fashion, as if like they owe you their attention and their personal handling. I think had you actually reached out to them privately and just said, "Hey, I am an attractive woman who is very much interested in helping the cause," I think that they would have been all on board with helping you in any way possible.
shit.
To
Well, he's
help
setting the
us
fucking hook.
essentially. Instead, it was public, blasting against the one political party that has a plank in its platform for medical freedom.
Yeah.
The Mises Caucus in particular is as in alignment with the things that you claim to be most passionate about of
Great.
any political movement in this country. So the antagonistic approach never made sense to people, and this is the reason that people start to call you a Fed, is because you're coming in basically pointing fingers, saying, "Why aren't you guys, more like me? Why aren't you more welcoming to people like me?" And we're like,
And
"We
she
are."
reports directly
And
to
you're
Star Wars.
but we're not.
So here's what happens when you just sit in the background and rumble. What happens? People say, why why don't you send an email? Well, who's going to answer that? I had reached out to Karen Ann Harlow, so I met her at the convention. I asked her if she wanted to do a live with me. She never responded. You know, people say, just send an email.
Oh, by the way,
I'm tired
her,
of it. I don't have any more time to wait. So
ex's
that's where I'm
family
like,
came
I
and
get
told me that she's
attention,
actually from
people that
Washington.
complain.
So this
So
southern
I'm gonna
accent
make
is all
my
fake.
complaints known.
I used to,
And
I
it
sold
has
cars
nothing to
once
do with
upon a
Misa
time, and we
Pockets.
had a
Like, I
guy
was
that
never
he would
rude
wear a
to Misa
cowboy
Pockets. I
hat,
tagged them in,
talk
like,
with a
one or
southern
two
drawl.
of
All
those
day. He called himself
literally just
Hoss.
for
He was
attention.
from
I
Detroit.
like their platform. I think that's all great. Okay. I spoke to Mike Heiss personally,
No,
you
you
know, and that went fine. But then
He
I
just
find
sounds
out they
West Coast.
blocked me, and I'm like, why did they
It-
block
It
me?
just
After
went
I had a
from southern.
conversation with him,
It goes back
everything
and
seemed
forth.
good.
Well, I know why. You want to know?
What'd you say?
I said I know why if you want to know.
Oh, I'd love to know. Yeah, why did they block me?
Because you quote tweeted an article about the killer, that mass murderer in I forget what state it was, Idaho, Ohio, some shit.
Yeah.
And you said, is this one of your people? It's like, why?
I said, no, somebody else had said that on there. I retweeted it and I said, the Libertarian Party, because when I started making rumbles, everyone come out and say, this girl's a grifter. She just wants attention. She wants the Libertarian Party to reach out to her.
Are they
No,
wrong?
I've grown my own thing with no libertarians ever helping me. I've talked only libertarian principles. I've proved time and time again that health freedom moms and libertarians think the same. And
Can you differentiate
no one
her
wants
and
to hear
Risa
that,
at
you
this
know,
point?
and people start telling me, you're just a grifter, you want attention. No, I'm
She's
trying
more
to help you,
attractive, but
okay?
other than that,
But
Oh,
yeah.
come on. Stop with this. You're trying to help us.
So-
You just
Caleb,
said that you
do you
did
know who
all these
Trisha Paytas
posts
is?
with the Mises Caucus tag because you
Trisha
wanted
Paytas?
attention.
Yeah.
You wanted attention. You got it. So don't play the victim now.
I'm not a victim, but you understand, like, okay, first of all, I don't do this so I can have a podcast and make money, okay? I don't make money off of this. I made, like, probably $500 total when I was
her money's
even,
off the
like,
OnlyFans.
monetizing my Instagram. Total, the whole time, literally. I do this because children are being hurt. People are being injured. Like, people...
We all care about these same things. So,
Yeah,
like,
but I feel that I care more because a lot of people are just sitting around trying to cash a paycheck.
I
They
care
like
more.
Where they're at. They're happy with their role in the party. You know, you get like, oh, I have an official role. This
How is he
really
not
good.
laughing
but
right
we
now?
need to do
He's
that.
so
You
good at
don't-
this.
You don't want moms
I
like
wouldn't
me
have been able to
say
keep
that
a
I love
straight
you.
face
Have you
if someone
seen his
told me
interview
I
with
care
Adam
more.
Kokesh
How are you
yet?
trying to grow the
No.
movement?
He's
Like,
very good
that's
at this.
just petty bullshit.
you don't know anything about what we're doing.
I'm not
You haven't been around long enough to even know.
go around using the retard word all the time. Like, they
Yes,
think that's funny,
you're a retard.
cute thing.
It is funny.
Well, you know, it might be funny,
Hold on.
but you're
She's
not
saying
gonna
this
get
to
my
somebody that's on
demographic
Power
over.
Power
There's
Hour.
a lot of people who have vaccinated children
She
that
doesn't
have
do
autism
any
or
research.
If you're going to not be involved with the one party that cares about medical freedom because we use language that you find off-putting, then maybe you're the one that's not very serious about this, huh?
Look, Taffy, I can't bring them over. You want me to embarrass these people? They don't like that. Like, I'm not saying that I care. Like, I don't care. It doesn't offend me. But I'm not going to bring people over where they don't feel welcome, where they feel like they're going to get called a fed, where their kids are going to, you know, you're throwing the retard word.
You've been called a fed is because you have been dragging people unnecessarily. People you know nothing about. You know nothing about the efforts, the working, the changes that have gone down. You don't even know anything about Nick Sarwark, the former chair. You don't know any of this stuff. So like you're coming in out of ignorance, to be perfectly honest, and you're trying to declare how everything should be fixed. You don't understand the inner workings of these issues. So like respectfully, I'm totally open to your input. I am genuinely I'm open to your input, but you have to know what you're up against. You have to spend some time watching so you understand.
I've been around. I did not pay a lot of attention to the Nick Sarwark, whatever whole issue there, because again, it's unnecessary drama. Like
Whatever
New Hampshire, taking over New Hampshire,
I've
people
been
stealing
around,
each
but
other's
I
shit.
didn't pay
Y'all
attention to
look
the biggest thing in the
ridiculous.
entire
Okay, to me,
fucking
that's
party.
He's a
ridiculous.
federal
Stop
asset
doing
leading the
stuff
party
like
for like
that.
6 years.
Shit was ridiculous. That was all the old guard. That was Sarwark. That's the guy that you've been putting out his videos going, oh, he sounds fucking pretty spot on.
You know why? Why, Clint, did I put out that video? Why did I watch that video in the first place? Because you wrote last in Sarwark, like, I'm aligning with him. So I said, you know what? Everyone hates this guy, and everyone hates me. So why don't I watch this video that they're all quoting and see with my own two eyes what I think? Because I don't judge other people
Now the Southern
based
draw's
on
back.
what a
Yeah,
group
KK back.
mob mentality says. I say, I'm going to watch the video.
It's like you ever date like a Latina girl
I put
and they
that
talk,
stuff out
you know,
because I'm like,
Midwestern
that sounds
accent until
reasonable.
they're mad
If
and it
that's
comes
not
out. It's the
true,
same
then
thing.
there's more background to it, but I'm just going off of what I watch. I'm never going to have, first of all, people that don't like me tell me what to think about someone else. I'm going to make my own judgment every single time. I'm going to base it on.
That's fine.
Yeah, so
That's
you
fine,
watch one
but
video.
You watched one debate, and you came to the conclusion that maybe this guy's not so bad after all.
Did I come to the conclusion, or are you putting words in my mouth? Because I absolutely did not come to the conclusion. I said
That's what was her exact post on Twitter.
What she just said.
You're putting it out to be openly antagonistic. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're trying to generate attention. You got it. Welcome to our world. You have the attention. Now what do you have to say? We actually are pushing the things that you care about most of any political party in this country, period. There's no one that's even fucking close. There's no other options for you out there. You want to create something better? God bless. Go do it. I will root you on, but I will not try and tear you down, and I will not allow you to elevate yourself by trying to tear down our hard work either.
He saw over and over. I never said any rude words to him. Never said any rude words to him. I didn't even know who he was. Like, I do not pay attention to power structures because that's not my focus. But the movement as a whole, and he took that personally, I'm going to say the movement as a whole is not going to grow like this. Like, you have to, and Nick Sauer did say that in his thing, and y'all can quote me all day and say how awful and wrong I am, but he did say that. Candidates have to appeal to a wider range of people. We need to appeal to a wider range of people.
That's one platitude by one of the biggest scumbags to ever walk the fucking earth.
Now you're cutting me off just to insult someone. It doesn't matter. It was just a point. My point is that what did I put out a tweet that got like,
You can tell she studied this for about 15 minutes
least
really
15
hard
minutes,
last night. Yeah.
Bring back libertarianism. Guess what the number one answer was? Libertarians. So we need to do better.
Because
like,
her
I
initial
want us to
tweet
do
that
better.
got
Like,
her
I am a libertarian. I'm a registered
very
libertarian. I volunteered as a libertarian. But I can't bring people to the movement so they can be called a fed, be called a grifter. It's like a total boys
I like
club.
her sweater
Everyone's
from the
gonna be
Jack
like,
Bauer
oh, you're wearing
collection.
spandex. Like, no, I can't do it. Like, we're not going to grow like that. And we have to grow if we
Adam
wanna
says,
win.
why are we
If you want
platforming this fed?
to
Because
win,
we're
if
making
you
fun
want
of her, dude. Shut up.
Any person
Yeah.
that you want to win, you need more people than
It's
libertarians.
funny.
I said this
We're
earlier.
the party of free
Every
speech, baby.
libertarian could hate me and never
We'll
vote for
give
me,
it-
and I
we'll
can
let an
still win
idiot
an office.
talk.
Her
I probably
vote, is she
wouldn't.
running
How
for
would you get
office?
that? Is that what you want? No. That's not what you want. You want to win. I want to win. I don't want to be laughed at in my face by my Republican friends saying that we just steal their vote and that we're just we're playing a game here. Like, I want us to win. Like,
She basically
matters.
wants us to be
Matters
Republicans
for my
that take
son.
on her pet
My
project.
son was
That's
injured
it.
by
That's what
vaccine.
she
You
wants us
have
to
no
do.
idea
Who
what our
doesn't
life
want to be
is
laughed
like.
at by
And I
her
cannot sit
Republican
around while a
friends?
bunch
But
of
one
people
issue,
just argue
I don't
with
think
each
she
other and
has
say
that.
they're autistic and call each other
Yeah, no
retards
shit.
and just act like fools.
Most of us are.
And continue. I don't want to hear Karen Ann Harlow's late. I was diagnosed as autistic at 40.
There she goes again.
or something.
Oh
Like,
my
I don't want
God.
to hear that stuff. There are children that literally all they do all day is flap their hands. All they do all day is like they're literally.
She's so
either
mad
they're
that Karen Ann
can't talk.
Harlow
There are children
got
that cannot
autistic
talk, and I have to
diagnosis
hear
at a
about
late
how,
age.
like,
If the
everyone
DM I
wants to
got
say-
is
say
right,
this
your
like it's
own
a joke.
child that you
And I'm
claim
gonna
is
ask her,
fucking
hey, well,
autism
you
does not
know
have a
about, the
diagnosis.
children
So
that has
suck my
Rockford
entire
No shit.
dick.
Did they say that?
Massachusetts
Yeah, that's
that
what the
literally
claim
they're
is. I'm
autistic, they're getting shot.
looking
Okay?
into it,
The
but
FDA
she's
cannot
going back to
stop
this, and
You-
I
you
could
wanna
not
help
I could
them?
not
No,
hold
I
back.
don't think it's going on.
So
I
she's
wanna
just one
say,
issue.
like,
It's just
jokes
Just
about
vaccines,
autism.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Pathetic.
I have no problem with people
Okay.
that are single issue. I think
Well,
they're useful in certain
literally
circumstances.
has
But
autism.
when
and
they
she was
try to
literally
branch out
diagnosed-
like this,
diagnosed
it's
at 40.
just,
So I don't understand.
you're not
why that's
well read on
offensive to
these
you.
things.
That's not
Like-
downplaying what you're dealing with your son.
When people,
Caleb, do you get a Jenna McCarthy vibe?
Anyone can try to drag my name through the mud and say that I'm being.
I'm still trying to put my finger on the vibe.
If you
I
are
don't know.
a fully
It's just
functioning
every
human
fake
being
Hold on,
that can
white
type,
chick I've met.
hold office as a secretary, do all those things. Getting an autism diagnosis is literally part of a bigger plan to like water down the numbers, how much they've changed. Literally, they want to show a less of a steep incline in the autism numbers, and so they're diagnosing adults for literally no reason. If you are not disabled
Makes
enough
zero
not to do
sense.
something, then you don't need a diagnosis of a disability. End of story. Like do it for attention. That's
Why are you
I-
taking this stance? I mean, she's not.
Actually,
even
no,
doing
I'm
it
getting
for
a vibe
attention.
of like
She's
one
just
of my
like, yes, I'm
ex-girlfriends.
diagnosed.
Very
Right, like-
opinionated, but when she's questioned
I
on
was like,
anything, it
look,
falls apart
and
like a
I
house
do
of cards.
care because it matters. It matters because there are children out there who are still getting autism from vaccines. there's still like the government is still lying about it. Everyone's still lying.
I'm more worried
Every
about
time
heart
people say,
failure.
it's just about
anymore.
neurodiversity. When every
Well, and you're going against the one group of people that actually agree with you on it. So why?
Laugh about it and you think it's funny and you don't care if we lose elections. That's how I feel. I want us to win.
And
Like,
please
if we
let
do
me
not
be your
win, then we're
debate
just role
partner
playing
on
and
the
it's stupid.
Tower Power
And it's
Hour
like-
stream.
Well, then
and let
join the
me
fucking
rip her a
GOP and make
fucking
them
new
have a
one.
right
I don't
on
think
there
we
that's
can keep
anti-vax. Good
doing
luck.
this.
Oh, understand.
But I did just
we're
text Clint.
actually the only party that
It's
can
too
do
much.
this.
I did
And
just
that's why
text
I'm so
Clint.
frustrated because
I
we're
did
the
just
only
text
party that's
Clint
not
and tell
infiltrated with
Clint
big
that,
pharma money. Like literally, the
that,
GOP and
Hold on one second.
the Democrats.
I just texted Clint and told Clint that, and that her ex-family, in-law family told us that, and also that we were restreaming him on To Break the Cycle. I see his eyebrow go like this. Yeah, she's all over the place, bro. It's bad.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, it's just, we have a segment on my show called Smart Stupid People, where we take people that think they're making a good point and like it kind of sounds like, but we just pick it apart. Like they think they're smart, but they're just not.
Yeah.
Like they're smart enough to come up with arguments, just not smart enough to come up with a good one.
Right.
And that's, we just kind of make
That's
fun
where
of them.
she's at, dude, for sure.
yeah.
There's
I'm
no
worried
doubt.
I'm gonna end up on that segment sometime.
Yeah, you're definitely a smart, stupid person for sure, buddy. We love you to death, though, no doubt.
Yeah, like I want to kind of like pick her brain a little bit, and like I wonder what she thinks about like J6. What does she think about stuff like that? I wonder, like how if you haven't researched,
We're listening to you, buddy. Go ahead.
if you haven't researched, Clint, you haven't researched Josh, you haven't researched the movement. What else haven't you researched?
Dude, she literally hasn't researched shit.
I don't
Nothing.
know. What's the view?
She may not know anything about it, but she'll damn well give you her opinion.
Exactly.
I wonder what our thoughts are on the correlation between epidurals and the rising rates of ADHD and autism, as well as the nearly 4-year jump in the average age of birth for women. Also, that heavily correlates with the jump in ADHD and autism. I bet she hasn't considered those two
Caleb?
major factors.
See, Caleb, smart, stupid people, buddy. We got one right here in the studio.
Yeah, I bet she hasn't considered those two factors before she's screaming about, fucking people, they're just giving fucking 40-year-olds autism.
I think that
diagnoses.
debate that Clint was just having with her was over as soon as he gave his spiel. I mean, it was already over. There was nothing. She had no comeback whatsoever to that. It was over immediately. Yeah, real fast.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to get called a grifter, step one would be don't show your ass on your video promos. You know what I mean? Like, it's clear what you're trying to do there. There's plenty of female political commentators, even libertarian ones that don't do that. So it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably all the attention we need to give her. Maybe I will go on her little Instagram space because I think that Clint did a really good job in that first 5 minutes, but I would just go on and troll her entirely, 100%. I would not be nice. I would not be like, oh, I respect your opinion.
Why don't you get her on this show?
What?
Get her on this show.
That's what I thought about that. I don't want
considered
to bring her on the show. I'd
No.
rather just go on her Instagram and take her followers. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
see, I don't know. I was told that like they encourage us to get people we agree with on my network on the shows because they say
Yeah,
it
I
makes
like to
for
have
better-
people I disagree with. I've had lots of people on here that I disagree with.
I don't think
Oh, for
she'd
real?
do it at this
Yeah.
point. She's not gonna come on.
I've had lots of people on the show that I disagree with, including like the Black Mutualist.
Okay.
I did bring John Hudak on for about 4.5 minutes and then kicked him off and had Tower Power Hour on, which was kind of cool.
Oh,
I did
don't
that
know what
purposely.
is,
That was we even made like a whole video for it and everything. It was really cool. A lot of fun. It had like the Undertaker theme song. It was really it's good. I can't stand those guys at Fakertarians. Anyway, we're gonna.
Oh,
this
that's
thing.
who that is? Okay. I got banned from that group. Okay.
Yeah, I've been banned, brought back, left,
Mhm.
went back just because I heard somebody was saying something about me, and then left, and I've been gone for a long time now. But we're gonna do this thing. We are gonna do a members only show if Caleb can hang around for about 20 more minutes or so.
Yeah. Should be
Okay,
good.
cool. And we will get that going. We are gonna have a show on Tuesday. Diego Rivera will be by
Did I
from
freeze?
big name from the Y'all days, the Young Americans for Liberty days. He's a great dude. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Caleb, before we go from the public show, do you want to tell people where they can find your show, listen to you, support you, all those good things?
Yeah, did my camera freeze? Or are we good?
What?
Did my camera freeze?
Yes,
Can you see me still?
You are frozen.
Did it freeze? Son of a bitch. Hold on. Can they hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, everyone can hear you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll give the spiel and then I'll disconnect the camera and put it back in. But yeah, you can find me. Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram. Caleb Salvatore Comedy on TikTok if you let the Chinese spy on you. Caleb Salvatore on YouTube. And then I guess I'll be in, I'm trying to think. Well, my show, That's Based, outlawstreamers.com, Rumble, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, should be on Apple Podcasts now. I'm not sure. And then again, That's Based with Caleb Salvatore. We're doing some dope things over there. And then show dates. If you're in Omaha, February 11th at Beach House, I run a monthly show there. We got David Terrell Green coming on, and then I'll be March 31st. I'll be out in Golden, Colorado, out in Denver, and then I'm working on some other road dates right now. But I'm trying to plan a wedding and all that shit too, so it's kind of difficult. But
Oh, let me know, dude. We got some really nice comedy houses here in Des Moines, dude. It'd be great to have you. And
I'm banned from one of them.
Oh, okay, well, I'll look for the other ones you're not banned from and see if we can get you a date. Now, you got a place to stay, free place to stay,
Fuck yeah,
dinner, all that
Oh, yeah.
shit, man. And then we'll have you on the show in the studio if you come
Fuck
here
yeah.
for a show.
Yeah, let me know, man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks a lot for coming on, Caleb. We really appreciate you, man. If you just give us a
Absolutely.
few minutes to close this thing out, we'll get
Yeah.
the members only show started.
Yeah, let me get my camera fixed. I appreciate it, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course. Cool guy, man. I love Caleb to death. Yeah. He's fucking cool. It'd be nice to have him in the studio for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun, and then especially if he's here for a show. I keep hitting up comedians as they're on tour, and none of them reply to me. I've gotten a couple replies, but one of them was, "We don't think the show is a good fit for us." But I do need to really start like sending emails for real, because and if you guys got any contacts for people you want on the show, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do it.
I've been reaching out. Any.
Yeah, it's harder than you think, buddy.
Yeah.
It really is. Especially you're like, hey, we had 1 million views and downloads across all platforms in the first year, and they're like, great, that's cool. No one cares. Like no one gives a shit.
I got a buddy that's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he'd like to come on and talk about how we've got a lot of new gun laws in Iowa, constitutional carry, got suppressors legal, got the Freedom Amendment, right? He wants to talk about how people that buy guns for self-defense typically don't then study self-defense. Right. They just go zero to gun, and he's like, he thinks that's incredibly dangerous, and he wants to talk about getting the word out there that people need to train.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one too.
Train with your weapon. Train with.
I think
hand-to-hand.
having hand-to-hand defense is very, very important thing.
Yeah, he's an expert, and he'd be really good to have on the show.
Of course, there's a lot of people out there too that don't want to fight, and that's something you have to think about too. Where what I mean, like I'm old,
or
man.
like disabled or something, or they're old.
Yeah, like
and
I'm old dude. I'm 40. I'm getting to the point where it's like, dude, if I don't think I can take you in 30 seconds, like I don't want to fight you either. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good question for him.
Yeah. That'd be a fun show. I'd be down for that. Guys, you got anything before we take off?
Follow me on Twitter at BulldogGamer28. I tweet funny stuff that doesn't get recognized, and then a more popular account tweets it a day later, and it gets tens of thousands of views and likes, which is really sad. And yeah, that's about it. What about you, AJ?
Follow me on Twitter at poison_tip on Twitter, and I'll be posting that that screenshot I got of Nick Fuentes talking about how he's censored from, now he's actually censored from Twitter again. So I'll post that tonight.
Hey guys, before we go check out Peace Hawk Coffee. With this small coffee roasting business, Peace Hawk will sell delicious micro batch roasted coffee online while donating at least $1 for every pound sold to worthy foreign aid organizations like Yemen Relief and Reconstruction Foundation, who has expressed support for this project. While their initial focus will be on Yemen Ethiopian coffee, they'll also have some affordable Central American varieties available too, which I have the Honduras one. It's fucking good. It's really good. Peace Hawk will always donate at least $1 from every pound sold to worthy foreign aid organizations. When you buy Peace Hawk coffee, you're not only buying great coffee, you have a chance to support the economies of countries struggling against the effects of war, support stellar private aid foundations doing life-saving work abroad, support stateside peace activists like myself, everybody who's basically ever been on the show, and my friend Will Hobson, who started this wonderful company. And the name Peace Hawk will be the counter to Warhawk, who is aggressively pro-peace. This company will be aggressively pro-war. This company will be aggressively pro-peace. Sign up today at the email list at peacehawk.coffee so you can get all of your updates on this thing when it goes live. It's really good coffee, man. I like it a lot. I've been really happy with it. Julia loves it. We French press it. It's good stuff. Guys, I'll see you on Tuesday for another great show. If you want to come hang out in the members only show, you guys can join at Patreon or Subscribestar, both of them.com/BreakTheCycleJS. You can see the live members only there. Also, you get some other perks eventually, I promise. Or you can join the YouTube channel for $5.99 a month or $4.99 a month or something like that. Love you guys to death. I'll see you then. Until then, don't forget to break the cycle.
Due to legal reasons, I just have to explain. The lyrics of my last song may seem to contain a violent call to action in the verse and refrain, but I just landed in Minecraft. The helicopter part was in reference to GTA 5 and the things you do. So any violence you commit, I am not an excuse, because I just landed in Minecraft. But Chipper is my friend and he's constantly cold. Accusations of incitement getting totally old. Make your own choices, yeah, you have control, because I just landed in Minecraft. Obviously I would never advocate force, unless there's due process and a trial, of course. And if you're convicted, we will make you a corpse. In Minecraft, just in Minecraft. Nothing I mean, you know it. No product dinners, cause it closed from COVID. Holy shit, I think I'm a poet.